sometimes you need to get fit, and sometimes you can just do 300 laps of your garden and that will get that heart rate going. So you can also drink this beer, which is also 300 laps of your garden. This is a Verdant Pale Ale coming in at just 4.8%. What's it going to be like? Let's get ready to rock. Welcome back to Rocker's Beer Review. For those that may have seen the Verdant Putty video, I just wanted to sort of put the caveat at the front of this video to say that I've just drank that in real time, and now I thought, well, let's make it a Friday night Verdant night. So I'm going to go for another Verdant, and this is 300 laps of your garden. This is a Pale Ale, 4.8%, a lot different than the 8%. But this is... The reason why I got this was, one, it was on a special. So it cost me about £3 for a Verdant beer. That's pretty damn good. It's got Columbus and Mosaic on the hot side. Mosaic, Azaka and Nelson Sauvin on the cold side. Now Nelson Sauvin, that's your sort of that's your slightly white grape type of flavour. So I'm expecting this to be very fresh, refreshing, almost like a nice Chardonnay, really. So let's get this beer open and let's get it into a glass, see what it's like. Now, the putty that I just had, you can read that review. It was obviously the one before this. It was a great beer, but it was a bit overhyped. This one, I don't really know much about it. And I remember when I look back on my videos from last year, which was my beer of the year, and my beer of the year was a single hopped Verdant called Safety Flares, and the single hop was Simcoe. And I thought, I can't think if I've had a single hop Simcoe, what was that like? And I watched back the video and I thought, I don't know, was I in just that state of mind where it was really great? But it was a pale ale as well, and I was thinking, pale ales. And the way that I described it was like it was the best beer that I ever drank. And that made me think whether this could do it, because this is a pale ale. It's not Simcoe. I don't even think that if Simcoe is my favourite hop or not. I mean, I just like all of the hops all mixed together in different ways. I've got this big thing about the Australian ones at the moment, but I also like a nice Citra Mosaic Simcoe. That combination usually gets a really solid. So anyway, this beer, we've got a light yellow. It's quite pale as a yellow. We've got a one finger head, which quite a small little head. Let's see what the aromas are like. Yeah, not overly powering. There is that sort of slightly white grape sort of aroma, and then there's a sort of citrusy, sort of lemony sort of aroma as well. Is there a bit of pineapple? A little bit, but the aromas are not big and not overpowering. So let's see what it tastes like. Cheers, everyone. It's really tasty, and you know why it's really tasty? It's got that little bit of sweetness in there, and the sweetness you're getting from that is from that pineapple. You didn't get the big pineapple aroma, but the flavour, there's a lot of pineapple in there. Really, really soft carbonation. It's a little bit, it's there, but it's sort of medium. It just gets those flavours moving around the mouth better. I don't think it's at that point where you say, oh, it's a little bit fizzy, but it's not. Again, I'm comparing it because I've just drank it with the double IPA, where it's sort of carbonation is sort of very, very soft, very sort of low levels of carbonation. There's a bit more fizz to this, I suppose, and you would expect that from a pale ale. But I'm going to make the bold statement now that I think Verdant is all about the pale ales, because I think their pale ales are really, really good. And I think they're good because well, this is the description. This is what I'm thinking. So the whole softness and the water and all the rest of it is really great on this. And the flavour's really fresh, and there's a bit of sweetness in there. And I've had IPAs that have got that sort of level of body, you know, the level of that sort of feeling you get when you drink a good IPA, that sort of very soft sort of body, especially for a New England IPA. But pale ales, you know, you think of all the pale ales I've drank, sometimes it's like, yeah, they're a little bit fizzy. Sometimes you get them, the poorer ones are almost like a lager, but with a little bit of more fruitier flavour to them. They don't do anything else. But the thing is with Verdant and their pale ales, they're almost like an IPA. They almost have that body and softness. But the thing is with this one is it's really refreshing and light, but also soft like an IPA. What are the flavours I'm getting here? I mean, the white grape is big. It's big on this, you know, that Nelson Sauvignon. I mean, it's in there amongst a lot of others. Columbus, off the top of my head, I'm not sure what a Columbus hop is all about. Obviously Mosaic, you know, Azacca, again, it's another tropical sort of stone fruity sort of thing. Am I getting stone fruits from this? No, I'm not. I'm getting a nice fruity tropical fruit flavour. But it's, the white grape is so dominant, that white grape flavour. Also maybe that sort of other things like melon and lychee, gooseberry, all of those sort of very light sort of fruits is very sort of dominant here. And there's a little bit of undercurrent of pineapple. It's very nice. The mouthfeel is what does it for me. And I think for a pale ale, it's got one of the best mouthfeels, I think, of any sort of pale ale you can get. Verdant know how to do it. It's about the water. It really must be about the water. So let's get some scores. Okay, the scores are in for 300 laps of your garden, a pale ale by Verdant, coming in at 4.8% with Columbus, Mosaic, Azacca, Nelson Sauvignon. Quite a few different hops there. This is a lovely, lovely beer. And as I said, pale ales, sometimes they can be a little bit fizzy, a little bit lacking in flavour, but this isn't lacking any flavour. This one's going down really, really well. It's a little bit of a shame that I'm drinking this straight after drinking an 8% double IPA by Verdant, because all those flavours are a little bit sort of mixed up a little bit. But Aroma first. I think Aroma, probably the most disappointing, but it's only disappointing because you're getting the big hit from that Nelson Sauvignon hop, where you get that white grape. And the white grape isn't generally a massive big aroma, but you're getting that with this. So you're getting that white grape sort of aroma, and then you're also getting a bit of lemon, a bit of lime, a bit of tropical sort of pineapple-y sort of aroma, but it's quite subtle, but it's pleasant. So I'm giving it a 13. Appearance-wise, it's a lovely yellowy sort of colour. So a great lace in the glass. Yeah, the head is sort of, it's still there, to be honest. If you look at the head there, if I can show you the head. Yeah, you can't really see it from these pictures unless I did a top-down version. But you can see the way that's laced the glass. I think it's worthy of an 8 out of 10 for appearance. Flavour-wise, I think for a pale ale, and I think this is with Verdant, they do really great pale ales that have huge amounts of flavours. And there's a lot of other beers where you drink pale ales and you think, yeah, I just want that sort of crisp refreshingness, almost like a sort of a tropical lager to some extent, because it has a lot of that sort of very thin body, quite high levels of carbonation. But Verdant do it differently. They like that real softness that you would expect from an IPA. Yes, it's still quite light and drinkable because it's 4.8%. You're getting pineapple in the flavour, and you're getting white grape, and you're getting citrus fruits like lemons and limes. And it's really, really pleasant. But the thing that makes this beer better than the rest is all about the mouthfeel. It's very, very soft. It's what I would expect from a New England IPA, but this is not an IPA, it's a pale ale. So I think that Verdant used great water. It's got to be about the water. But flavour-wise, I'm giving it a 35. I think it's great. Value for money. Well, as I said, this was on a discount. This 440ml can was about £3. And when I compare that with the £3 cans of beer you can get from supermarkets, it's night and day. It's a huge step up, especially for a pale ale. So I'm giving it 9 out of 10 for value. And then overall experience, yeah, I could drink this beer all night. Excuse me. It's refreshing. It's light. It has absolutely great mouthfeel. And it's just perfect. And it's all about the water for me. It's just so soft, so drinkable. So I'm giving it 15 for overall experience. So top those scores up, we get 80. We're getting an Iron Maiden beer. It's the heaviest of heavy metal, but even though it's the heaviest of heavy metal, it's still quite soft rock because it's very soft. I'm going to just drink this last almost mouthfeel and just sit back and relax and think about which is the next Verdant I'm going to buy, because I love Verdant beer. I think they're great. I think they're one of the top breweries in the whole of the country, and I will put them up in my top 3 breweries along with Daya and Polly's. Great beer, and until the next one, keep on rocking.